Hey guys, so long anticipated video here. How to play Cyber Dragons post Master Rule 5. It's going to be a longer video, but we're going to cover things like basics of the cards, tips, tricks, good things to know, interactions, a bunch of combos for different variants, and kind of talk about different variants briefly, but for the most part we're not going to go too in depth into them. I'll have separate videos for the variants that I personally play. I will put some times down in the description below so you guys can jump around to where you want to, so you don't have to watch the entire video or just randomly click the slider around to get to a certain point. You'll be able to see the time and go to the time and watch which portion of the video you would like, whether that's the tips, the combos, just basics for all levels. I'm going to try and go in depth with you guys here. I'm going to attempt to go as fast as possible while going slow enough that you understand and can take away and learn a lot from this video. Don't forget to subscribe and comment down below. We, as always, have a lot planned, too much on our plate, some might even say, especially with Cyber Dragon content. There is so much to talk about all the time. We're not going to cover tech cards because there's far too many to talk about. That'll be, I guess, tabled for another time. So without further ado, let's get right into it. The first card we're going to talk about, just getting familiar with the deck itself, because learning the deck you're playing is so important. You gotta just be able to see your hand and know what you can do to really thrive at that next level of competition, whether that's knowing how many cards you have to be able to summon and what levels they need to be to make your boards and combos. We'll talk about that a little bit later also, but let's just talk about the cards a little bit. So the original Cyber Dragon, obviously you can just special summon it from your hand if your opponent controls a monster and you do not. Once was a 3 of, now it's up for debate unless you're playing a build focused for combo like the VFD build, scrap build, Orcust build. I actually prefer 1 with 0 machine dupe, as most brick hands I found to be one of those cards, either drawing into dupe later when it wasn't live anymore, or opening a Cyber Dragon and just not being able to do a whole lot, things like that. And consistency went up, success with the deck went up, and I'm very happy with it, unless playing one of the combo focused builds, which we will show you guys many things for that in this video. Bringing us to Cyber Dragon Core. So obviously if it's normal summon, you can add a Cyber Dragon or a Cyber spell or trap from your deck to your hand. If your opponent controls a monster and you do not, you can banish it from your grave to summon a Cyber Dragon monster from your deck. It's the best main deck monster in the deck period, arguably the best monster in the deck period. It's a 3 of in basically all builds. It's our main starter for all of our plays, searching out whatever you might want or need. Cyber Dragon hurts, my opinion, it's the second best main deck monster in the deck. It's a 3 of, it gets back our Naxter, it gets back our core, send it to the graveyard, I'll rampage to gain advantage. It's an amazing extender, it does not target. I do not agree with playing 2, but I know some people have been lately. Cyber Dragon Naxter, the card that really helped push us a little bit further. It is so good. I prefer 2, but I understand playing 3, especially with machine dupe, as it is another target. Not much for an opening play card, especially if you're going first, but mid to late game it is absolutely amazing. It also has a neat interaction that we will talk about in a little bit here. Cyber Dragon Fear is almost pushed off with like Drives Y and all them as a unneeded and forgotten card, but I absolutely love it as a 1 of, not just because it chain blocks, but it makes an easy Predaplant Anaconda, Verde Anaconda play, and it's a level 4 for overflow, 2 things that really make me love it even more than the chain blocking. The honorary Cyber Dragon himself, level 5 light machine, searches himself, special summons himself, and he fills our graveyard up with Cyber Dragons, basically a free Nova, which turns into an extender. Also, this is one of our best extenders. I love it at 3. I want to see it all the time, but 2 has proven pretty successful time in and time out, so can't argue with results. Jizukiru, the searchable Kaiju. any deck that has a searchable kaiju has a huge advantage. I'm a huge advocate for playing 2 of these right now in the current format. Every time I see it, I just break insane boards because kaijus are just really strong, and being able to search them is just ridiculous. So I highly recommend 2. On the same note as kaiju, we're going to talk about Eltanin real quick. So Cyber Eltanin, it's kind of a preference card that offers non-destruction board wipe. I prefer to side it if I'm going to play it at all. I'm not a big fan of main decking it, but it is an option, and there are times where it's kind of like, hey, emergency, search out our Elton, and that would be pretty nice right here. Cyber Emergency, add any light machine that cannot be normal summoned or a Cyber Dragon monster, meaning any of our Cyber Dragon monsters or Cyber Eltanin, because it cannot be normal summoned. Jizukiru can be normal summoned. Just because you don't doesn't mean it can't, so you cannot search your kaiju with your Cyber Emergency. If the activation, keyword there is activation of this card, is negated and it's sent to the graveyard, so if it's negated and banished, it will not work. But you can discard a card, add it back to your hand, and then you can reactivate it. Ash Blossom negates the effect, not the activation, so it does not work. But a card like Borload's Savage, Cyber Dragon Infinity, things like that that negate the activation, Naturia Beast will trigger that. And if you have another copy in your hand, you can just not discard a card, let it go to the grave, and play the other copy out of your hand. Cyber Repair Plant, a 1 to 2 of. Searching most of our monsters, basically hand traps and tech cards would be the only cards it does not search. Any light machine. Keep in mind, it has 2 effects. If you have 3 Cyber Dragons in your graveyard, you can activate both, which just happens to be shuffling a light machine from your graveyard back into your deck, meaning if you're playing 3 soldiers, you can keep the 3rd one live, because you'll activate Repair Plant, shuffle back number 2, search number 3, activate it, search out number 2 again from your deck, or you can shuffle back an OG Cyber Dragon to keep your machine dupes at least halfway live. I have resolved 2 dupes in 1 turn before. Don't get me wrong, the card is insane, and if it resolves, you usually win. But for pure toned back Cyber Dragons, I prefer not playing it. Cyber Rev System, non-targeting Reborn that can also summon from your hand, keeping in mind it has to be the OG from your hand because none of them are Cyber Dragon in your hand, only on field and in the graveyard. And it cannot be destroyed by card effects. People say it's an extender, people just use it for whatever, revive Nax or revive something else, but some decks can't out a Rev System Seeger because it can just boost its attack and it can't be destroyed by card effects. So keep in mind, it cannot be destroyed by card effects. Cyberload Fusion, a quick play searchable fusion. You can use it in your battle phase to get around the restriction. Helps keep Machine Dupe live. Just all around a really good card for us. Overload Fusion, it's our power play. Verde Anaconda makes this so much more consistent, and I was not playing it recently, but I put it back to 1, and I understand playing 2 because since putting it to 1, I open it all the time. Foolish Burial is not a cyber card, but in my opinion it is a staple. It can kind of help start your plays. It makes Repair Plant live, and by starting your play, I mean like going second, you can Foolish a core, banish core, summon Nax, or summon something from your graveyard, or just summon it, and now you can use Machine Dupe from your hand because you have a target on the field. You can send Hearth like mid to late game to get your core or your Naxter back to your hand. It is just so versatile. Lots to talk about it. Machine Dupe, it's a great card. It can brick like mid to late game when you're out of OG Cyber Dragons. It's usually not the running out of targets part, it's the OG Cyber Dragons part. Like I said, if it resolves, you usually do win, and it is a really good card. And I'm not saying you're going to brick on it often, but it's little things that help push a really good finish to an event to a great finish. It's all these little things that come together and need to happen. So I guess I prefer, like I said, with Pure to not play it, but I'm not going to keep repeating that anymore. We're done with it. So final card in the main deck, we are going to talk about Cybernetic Overflow, non-targeting destruction, no cost. It's a free pop 1 to 4 basically. And if it gets destroyed, it searches out your follow-up play, and you can chain it and pop their field. And it's stupid broken. You can chain it when they destroy it, blow up your opponent's field, and search out another copy of it. Like, there's just so many things you can do with it. You can banish a bunch of your cybers and search out your cyber load fusions. That way you can go into your rampage or your twin or what have you on your next turn. You can search out your emergency, your rev, your repair plant. Like I said, another copy of itself. It's just probably one of the better traps in the game, and it finally got a foil upgrade that it so rightfully deserves. Before we go on to the extra deck, I want to say we have probably 10 to 15 spots that you can easily fit hand traps, removal cards like Twin Twisters, Evenly Matched, Pankratops, or other engines if you want to play like CyberScrap, Orcust, Cyber Trap, CydrABC. Yes, it is still viable, and I will have an updated list for you guys. Cyber Shadal. I've seen people have success with Cyber Mech Knights. In the mirror tournament, I saw all kinds of different things getting crammed into these decks, and it was really, really cool. Anywhere from like Gravekeeper Cybers to Mystic Mind Cybers and everything in between. You can even run tech cards like for the Ultimaya into Crystal Wing play or VFD play, stuff like that, where it's not really an engine, but a couple tech cards to get to your end goal. Cyber Synchrons I've seen popping up more and more in the group. So many things that you can fit in that 10 to 15 slots. I will have updated builds for most of the variants above with combos in them videos, so subscribe to see them if you don't want to miss it. On to the extra deck. Keep in mind quick, this deck you're seeing right here in front of you, it's kind of just put together for this video specifically to talk about these cards and then be able to show you guys some combos. I forget how many, there's like a dozen or so combos we're going to cover. We will show combos for these variants, at least some of them, and then a bunch of plays that pure or mostly purish Cyber Dragons can do. Chimera Tech Mega Fleet Dragon loses almost nothing in Master Rule 5. Let's be realistic here. Most of the top decks are still going to use links. Most of the good decks are still going to use links. And a lot of the time, the really hard to deal with XYZ, Synchros, or Fusion monsters ended up in the main monster zone anyway, so really not a whole lot changes with Mega Fleet. I'm still playing 2. Do what you will with it, but I would not cut it at all the way to 0 for sure. I do recommend 2. For this, I had to get it out of here, but Chimera Tech Fortress Dragon, I'm playing 2 because I'm playing 2 Kaijus, and I just have the space for it. I don't think our extra deck's as tight as a lot of people make it seem, and Kaiju's just so good, so I want to have fortresses when I Kaiju them twice. And if you run into a mirror match, because I think we're going to gain popularity, and you might hit more mirror matches in bigger events, nobody expects 2 Fortress Dragons, so after the first one, they kind of play a little more selfishly and don't expect you to have that second one, and you can really catch them off guard and just win and punish them for being greedy. Chimera Tech Rampage Dragon pops back row, mill to fuel your overflow, send your hurts, plus attack 3 times. Yes, you can mill in turn 0 like going first. You can mill and use that effect. Main phase 2, yes, you can mill. Yes, you can use the effect. It's a part A, part B effect. You have to be able to do A in order to do B, but not vice versa. The main part of the effect is sending to grave. Yes, you can do it. Clearing that up. And what I meant by mill to fuel your overflow, I've seen people ask if they have like overload and overflow in their hand with 2 cybers engraved. They're like, well, I don't want to overload because then I won't be able to use my overflow. Just overload into your rampage, mill 2 more, and now you have your overflow fueled again. So keep that in mind. Cyber Eternity Dragon, I could see gaining some more play. It's a big body, 4,000 defense, and it has built-in protection. Can't be targeted, so we get fusions to the grave pretty easily, so it's not hard to make his protection effect live. Cyber Twin is a very good power play. I'm personally playing it again. XYZ monsters, Cyber Dragon Nova, it's an OTK enabler, it's an extender, and if it gets popped, you get to summon a fusion. Just really versatile. Lots of people don't know about that last part, and they'll like Solemn Judgment the summon or Solemn Strike the effect, and then you get a Cyber Fusion for nothing. Cyber Dragon Infinity, running out of breath, and we have so much more to talk about, so try and not sound too worn out for you guys here. Cyber Dragon Infinity, it's an Omni Negate, negates basically anything. It's removal in the like non-destruction removal, and the fact that you can absorb an attack position monster. And personally, I think it should be an ulti in TCG. Just my 2 cents on that. So Konami, if somehow you see this, OTS 13 or 14 ulti Infinity would look absolutely gorgeous. Salamangreat Almirage, the card that, well, it seems like most decks are playing it except for Salamangreat. It's just a consistency card, really. The protection effect does come up, and you can just shotgun it, like draw phase, chain Almirage effect. Now Infinity can't be destroyed by card effects, which has actually come up for me before. People, especially when you do it right away in the draw phase, they start comboing, and if you have like overflow set with Infinity, and they don't really think anything of it, they start to push through, and then they activate an effect to pop your Infinity, and you're just like, yeah, Almirage protects it. If your opponent ever does do that, and then they try to change the target, or same like with a Rev systemed Cyber Dragon, don't let them change the target, because it doesn't stop them from attempting to destroy it, it just stops it from being destroyed. And it's little things like that that really are the difference in bigger events. It might seem petty, but everyone tries hard, puts in a lot of work, money to get to the events, play the events, stuff like that, so you can't feel bad about doing things like that. Cyber Dragon Seeger, it's defense, it's offense, it does everything. And when you use his effect to boost another card, this card, meaning Cyber Dragon Seeger, deals no damage. I've seen that confusion where they think the card boosted does, but it says this card, meaning Seeger. And it says this card because if you have 2 Seegers, it's only the one that boosted that does not deal damage. And here we have our Predaplant Verde Anaconda. The card's insane. It really, really is. Testing it, it is so easy to just do like a normal Infinity play, put up Infinity, have 2 monsters, go Anaconda, and Cyber Dragon revived off Nova, then Overload Fusion, and go into your Rampage, and it's ridiculous. It's a big power play enabler. It's consistency. It just gives us a push. We can run less power cards to try and win, because now we can basically just play them right out of the deck. Like I said before, knowing your deck is really important to successful play. So is knowing your opponents. So I suggest either playing other decks or watching their videos on YouTube even to learn their combos, learn their counters, and learn their choke points. Not only will it help you know when to negate something or when to pop it, it'll also help you deck building. If you notice a certain hand trap is good against most of them, that's the type of thing you're going to want to put in your main deck as opposed to your side deck. This brings us to the tips portion of the video. So we're going to stay on this same screen now here. I don't want to get timed out, so I want to click on something. Cyber Dragon Core can special summon any Cyber Dragon monster from your deck. Keyword being monster. So any of these, Naxter, Fear, OG, Hertz. Whereas a card like Cyber Dragon Hertz can add Cyber Dragon to your hand, meaning in the graveyard, any of them are okay. From your deck, it has to be the original, because none of them are Cyber Dragon in your deck. This is not Harpy, ladies. Hertz does not target. Do not forget that. I've seen so many people chain like DD Crow to a Hertz, and they say, well, what's your target? And they tell them, and they banish it, and they let it go through, and that is just not how it works. Keep in mind, Galaxy Soldier, chain link 1, discard Hertz, attempt to special summon, they chain DD Crow to banish it. You will not get Hertz's effect, because it won't be in the graveyard when it attempts to activate, despite having gone there previously. Don't forget about Hertz's level 5 effect. It will come up once every 2 regionals, maybe, but that one time it will decide your match for you. So keep in mind, it can be a level 5. Core, you normal it, they solemn judgment it, or they negate the summon any which way or how. Goes to the graveyard, you can banish it. Use that effect, since you can only use one effect per turn, but if the summon never happens, the search never happens, so you can use the banish effect. CydrABC Naxter. If Linkaribo's in the graveyard and say they try an on-field negate like Infinite Permanence, Effect Veiler, something like that, Widow Anchor, just chainlink your Karibo from the graveyard because it'll resolve backwards. So Karibo tributes Naxter, they lose their target, Naxter effect resolves, summoning its target from the graveyard, and at that moment you are locked. That's why you can still summon Linkaribo, because you are not locked until Naxter resolves. CydrABC Fear, it chain blocks. Not just Ash Blossom, it chain blocks Appaloosa, it chain blocks CydrABC Infinity, it chain blocks Boral Savage, Odd Eyes Vortex. Do I need to keep going on? It chain blocks any monster effect basically, because trigger effects come before quick effects. Soldier and Hurts, when you use their effect, or even like Naxter, you discard Hurts and it summons, you can chain block between them. Like you can make Soldier or Hurts chain 1 or chain 2. That is 100% completely up to you. Assuming you have a CydrABC monster banished or on field, you normal core, they chain Impermanence, they chain Widow Anchor, they chain Effect Veiler, some type of on-field negate. You can chain Cyberload Fusion to force them to miss their target, and once again, you save your core's effect, kind of like Linkaribo and Naxter, and the effect will go through. Same can be said with Cybernetic Overflow. If it's set prior, obviously, because you can't activate it the same turn it is set, you can activate it to banish your core to protect it in the same exact way as Cyberload, because you force them to lose their target. Other things that are good for Master Rule 5 for us: Mega Fleet and Fortress, or if they solemn your Nova and you go to summon like your Fusion, you can put them in the main zones. They don't go in the extra monster zone, they don't block it up, you don't have to link them off to keep going. You can just, contact, put it in the main zone, now you have a big beater on board. I actually just played one where I went into Fortress and Mega Fleet in the same turn and just summoned them both in the main zones and had Rampage and Infinity, and then just steamrolled over my opponent at that point. So you summon your Rampage, you have another level 5 on board. Rampage, Mill Naxter, and whatever else, it does not matter. Your level 5 and Rampage into your Nova. Nova, detach Rampage, special summon your Naxter. Then Naxter can special summon the Rampage that you just sent. Rampage then can mill 2 again, because it's a soft once per turn, and now you can attack with your Rampage. You have your Naxter to continue doing stuff with, and you have your Nova that you can go into your Infinity with that way. We already mentioned it. Yes, Solemns will trigger Nova's effect because it's from your possession, meaning even if they Mega Zaborg it from your extra deck to the graveyard, it went from your possession to the graveyard. Mega Zaborg, Solemns, they trigger Nova. Possession is defined as deck, extra deck, field, hand, and I think graveyard. But yes, extra deck does count, so Solemns trigger it, Mega Zaborg triggers it. Good things to know. CydrABC Infinity, neither effect, not the negate, not the attach, are hard ones per turns, meaning if you have 2 copies, you can negate twice, you can attach twice. By twice, I mean once per copy. The only part that is a hard once per turn is overlaying it on top of Nova, so you can't have 2 Novas and then overlay 2 Infinities. That part is once per turn. Nightmare Phoenix, before a lot of us like to play it because Almirage, Cyber Dragon, or what have you, into Phoenix, discard a card, pop a floodgate, go off. But now you have an up arrow, and you have no down arrows, so you had to get out another monster, go into another Link, or a Mega Fleet, and then block your extra monster zone that way. and it was a big hassle and took a lot of resources just to get rid of a floodgate. Now you can go into your Phoenix, pop a card, still do your XEs, still do your fusions, and you don't have to worry about not having down arrow. Really, really good. Master Rule 5 I absolutely love. It helps us so much. I'm sure there's so much more I'm forgetting or that I just don't even know, so I would love to hear it. Let me know down below if I forgot something, if you know something I don't know. I'm always trying to learn and love learning new things. Where are we here? Okay, so this is kind of just a starting guide, but a really in-depth starting guide for you guys. There's lots of different variants that can see success, in my opinion. I'm always willing to help out, so if you ever have questions or want me to look at a build or just help or ideas or anything, and I have time, just ask me. Look me up on Facebook in the CydrABC group. I'm pretty active there. So now, finally, we're going to cover some plays, combos that we have. And we're going to pause this quick, get a drink, take a break, and we will see you on the combo in the dual screen. Okay, so now we're back with these combos. You're going to see core and dupe in a lot of them. You don't necessarily need to have them for them. I'm just doing it the easiest way to showcase it for you guys. So any core dupe combo means you need to be able to summon 4 monsters, 2 being level 5. That's as easy and as simple as you can get it. So 4 monsters, 2 level 5. So like a Soldier, Herds, Fear would do the same thing. You'd be able to get out 2 monsters, 2 level 5, or 4 monsters, 2 level 5, stuff like that. You don't always need core and dupe. Core dupe extender hands are, well, usually 5 monsters, 4 level 5, sometimes 2 level 5. But I'm not here to confuse you guys. So this first one is one of our OTK boards. It's going CydrABC, Nova, and CydrABC for 8,400 and a free attack. So we had normal our CydrABC core. Searching out our rev system. Activating our machine dupe. We're using the same deck that you guys just saw for the rest of the video so far, so that's why it's an incomplete deck and there is not 40 cards. Then linking off core and one of our level 5s into our CydrABC. Rev system into our CydrABC. Can't be destroyed by card effects, but we're not worried about that right now. Force a habit, doing it to the link arrow, although we do not need to anymore. Overlay for Nova. Detach CydrABC. You must have a CydrABC in the graveyard to use that effect, but then yes, you can resummon the one that you detach as long as you had another one in grave already. Now we go battle phase. CydrABC. Usually boost your Nova, sometimes, depending the situation, which we're not going to get into, boost your CydrABC if you have 2 bigger monsters to get over. Then Seeger can now attack, say, a defense position monster or a monster with under 2100 attack. To clear it out of the way, no damage is dealt. Then CydrABC attacks, 2100 damage. Nova attacks, damage step, you can banish your CydrABC, and he gets another 2100, so 6300 plus 21 is 84, and that is the most common and easiest OTK you will see. Now let's say you had core dupe, but you happen to open your rev system. You can summon your core. Now this time we're going to search out our Cyberload Fusion, or if you opened your Cyberload, search out your rev system, or you could search out like emergency and then search your fear and then chain fear to your machine dupe CydrABC, because you do not, if you have dupe, do not chain your fear to core, because fear powers up your core, it powers up your hertz, it powers up your Naxter, meaning you can't use machine dupe. Just making sure we're still recording here. So sorry for that one. Machine dupe on our core before we lose exactly where we're at. Special summoning 2 CydrABCs. And now, just like before, we're going to link off and go into our Seeger. Rev system to reborn our CydrABC. goes to the graveyard. Overlaying our 2 Cyber Dragons. Oh, into our Nova. It's okay that it's in defense for this one. We're just going to leave it there. Detach 1. Special summon Cyber Dragon. Now, however, we're going to go into our Cyber Dragon Infinity. We're not going to necessarily be able to do this combo with this deck because we don't have Cyber Twin in the extra, but same deal. Enter battle phase. Seeger, boost your Nova, or boost your Infinity. And then now he has, with 2 materials, 25, he would have 4,600. Free attack from Seeger, 4,600 from Cyber Dragon, 2,100 bringing you to 68, 67, something like that. Then Cyberload Fusion, shuffling back your Cyber Dragon and your Seeger into your Cyber Twin at this point and hitting for an additional 56. I do this and go into Infinity because then you just have that protection for like the Mirror Force or the completely table 500 random card you run into. Otherwise, you could leave Nova, but effect of Nova banishing your Cyber Dragon, going to 6,300, attacking, and then Cyberload Fusion still because you can use your banish. Now let's say we just want to go for a Seeger Rampage Beatdown. We open this. You can special summon your Cyber Dragon, assuming that they have a monster. Chain your fear, or just normal summon your fear, does not matter. Any way to summon 2 Cyber Dragon monsters, or any way to summon 2 of your Cyber Dragon monsters to link into your Seeger. Drop Overload Fusion, banishing our 2 from the grave. For our Chimera Tech Rampage Dragon. Rampage Dragon then effect to mill 2 light machines. We're just going to send 2 real quickly. Enter battle phase. Seeger, boost your Chimera Tech Rampage Dragon, and then Rampage Dragon can attack 3 times at 4,200 for 12,600. Just to show you guys a combo now without Machine Dupe, because this would replace your Machine Dupe, the 2 extenders. Here we are going to end with our Predaplant Verde Anaconda, Cyber Dragon Seeger, and Chimera Tech Rampage Dragon. Alternatively, this same combo will also end with Infinity instead of Seeger, or if you open like Core Dupe Extender or Core 3 extenders, you could have Seeger Infinity with your Verde and your Rampage. We will show that one. So here, normal summoning our Core, searching out a Rev system. Discarding our Hertz to special summon Soldier. Chain links 1 and 2. Cyber Dragon and Galaxy Soldier to our hand. Oop. Discarding a light machine, or light monster I should say, for a Galaxy Soldier. Rev system back. Cyber Dragon. One, 2 into Anaconda. And then here you could go into your Nova and even bring back a Cyber Dragon, and then go into your Infinity and then effect, or you can go into your Seeger. But so you guys see what I'm saying there is, with your 2 soldiers you could go into Nova here, detach 1 to summon a Cyber Dragon, go into your Infinity, and then Anaconda effect to get out your Rampage. So same combo, but instead of Seeger, go into Nova, Infinity, etc. And then Predaplant Verde Anaconda's effect, pay 2,000 life points, send to the grave your Overload Fusion. If you see your opponent using Predaplant Verde Anaconda and you negate it, make sure they pay life points and send the card to graveyard. They do not get to keep the card in their deck because sending it is the cost. And keeping that in mind, you cannot ash it because it is the cost. So we sent our Overload Fusion, so we are going to banish 2 Cyber Dragon monsters. To special summon Chimera Attack Rampage Dragon. And now we can go battle phase, Seeger boosting him and attacking and doing our things that way once again. So another powerful OTK option. Like I said, you can also have Infinity instead of your Seeger. Or if you happen to open that extra extender, it would get an extra body on board. So you would go into your Nova first, bring back that Cyber Dragon we talked about, go into your Infinity. The extender would bring out another monster, which would then that monster and the Cyber Dragon revived off Nova into your Seeger then, and then still Anaconda into your Rampage. If that doesn't make sense, ask me down below, because I don't want to show the same exact combo +1 card another time. So let me know down below if you want me to explain that a little bit better. Another very simple but effective board. We're going to get into now the going first boards, not the OTKs. So core dupe, normal summon core, search out our cybernetic overflow, activate machine dupe, 2 special summon 2 cyber dragons, linking our core off into our Almirage, overlaying our 2 cyber dragons into our cyber dragon Nova. Then depends how you want to do this here. You could like detach one just to summon one back and then go into a mega fleet, or you can keep your protection from your Almirage, setting your overflow for a pop 2. I don't like leaving a monster that's considered Cyber Dragon on board, just in case. Mega Fleet's more likely to happen, but draw phase, you can use his effect, go to the grave, and then you can pop 2 with overflow and negate 1 with your Infinity. Like I said, try not to leave them there, but if he's attached, you only have core in the grave, meaning you would have to negate before you use your pop. Not necessarily a bad thing, and it will come up quite a bit where that actually happens, so keep that in mind. Now let's get into a little bit bigger of a board. So core dupe extender. Here we're going to go for IP Mask Arena and 2 rank 5s. If you happen to open a Gamma, you could also go for IP Mask Arena, Lambda, and Infinity, because then Lambda would allow you to use your Gamma on your opponent's turn while you control monsters, and you could use Driver and IP Mask Arena to go into your Unicorn or whatever your disruption card of choice would be. In the last example, that if you didn't have dupe, if you had Galaxy Soldier and Hertz, what I really like to do, especially setting up a first turn board, Nova, revive Hertz in attack position, so when you make your Infinity, you can absorb Hertz, so then when you negate on your opponent's turn, detach your Hertz and get your core back from your graveyard to kick off your plays for the following turn. Here though, we're going to normal our core. We opened Cyber Emergency, so we want the card opposite of that, which would be Cyber Repair Plant, because we want to get to our Hertz and our Galaxy Soldier. Now we're going to activate our Machine Duplication, special summoning 2 Cyber Dragons. This is a little bit different now, and you don't necessarily have to go into the links with this type of hand. You would be able to get out double rank 5s without it because, well, you don't need the links, but I still do like links. I think they really help push our deck further and make us a better deck overall, as most decks. So emergency, searching out our Hertz. Core Cyber Dragon into our OP Mask Arena, Cyber Repair Plant, and now here if we had 3 Cyber Dragons in grave, I would shuffle an OG back to keep our machine dupes more alive, but we don't, so we're only going to use the searching effect. Galaxy Soldier's effect, discard a light monster to special summoning itself, Soldier 1, Hertz 2. Now, talking about keeping machine duplication live, we're going to do that right here. So Hertz is going to get Cyber Dragon back from our graveyard. This leaves one in deck, so that way if you top deck a dupe with a target, you still get one card out of the deck, and you don't have a dead machine dupe in your hand. It's the little things that really make the difference. Discarding that one now to special summon Soldier. Overlaying for our first rank 5, which happens to be Nova. Detaching one to special summon another level 5. Going into then our Cyber Dragon Infinity. Overlay our other two. I have seen people using Rampage Dragon in this combo for Pleiades. Keep in mind it's level 5 light monster, so you can't do that. And here we go, there we have it. IP Masquerena, so you can bounce with Pleiades, negate with Infinity, and then your Masquerena and say Pleiades into Unicorn and bounce another card that way. Sorry, getting a little bit tired, but we are almost done here, and we will wrap this up and probably get the video uploaded tomorrow. Get a little bit of sleep. But anyway, so that's how we do that. Another thing that just thought of, because like I said, there's things I'm going to forget. Master Rule 5, you can special summon 2 level 5s, go into your Nova, revive Cyber Dragon from the graveyard, and then go into Infinity, and guess what? That's summon number 5, meaning you just successfully played around Nibiru. This next combo is a fun one, and it uses a new Link monster that, in my opinion, is just waiting for somebody to break it. So if that happens to be somebody with our deck, that would be really cool, and I look forward to it. I'm too busy to try and do that. I have way too much going on, but I would absolutely love to see someone do that, and some of you probably already know what card I'm talking about. So normal course, searching out our rev system, detaching to special summoning, can definitely tell I'm getting out of it. I'll try and hold it together here for you guys. Chain links 1 and 2, getting our Galaxy Soldier and our Cyber Dragon. Detach. Discard Cyber Dragon to special summon our Galaxy Soldier. And then we will overlay our 2 Galaxy Soldiers into, if we can find him, our Nova. Not sure why it wants me to do that, but detaching 1 to special summon from the grave. Overlay into our Cyber Dragon Infinity. Cyber Rev system to revive the other one. And now we are going to use 2+ machines to go into our Mecha Phantom Beast Auroradon. If you do not have this card, make sure you get this card. It's like $1 right now, but once somebody figures it out, it is going to go up. So it's summoned, we are allowed to special summon 3 tokens. Then you can use his effect. Never really considered tributing himself, but someone in the group did mention that today, and that was a very good idea. Use his effect, tributing himself, and 1 of your tokens to special summon from your deck a Mecha Phantom Beast monster, this case being Olion. 3 is 6, plus our level 2 tuner happens to be 8. Borload Savage, and then equipped your Mecha Phantom Beast. And just because you can, you get a token off of your Olion also. So core dupe ending on Mecha Phantom. Well, I guess we're not wrong here. Mecha Phantom Beast token, Mecha Phantom Beast Auroradon equipped to a Borload Savage Dragon alongside of a Cyber Dragon Infinity. 4 more videos left for you guys. 4 more combos left for you guys. Sorry, I'm doing these all individually and taking tiny little breaks in between. We're going to go into our VFD, or True King of All Calamities play, alongside our Cyber Dragon Infinity. This combo's been around for almost a year now. It has gained a lot of popularity recently because the Cali effect, yeah, that's what it was. The Cali effect made a video showcasing the combo and talking about how broken it is, which he's not wrong, but it's not something new and it has not seen a ton of success, but not a ton of people have really tried it or played it because they did not view it as the best way to go about the deck. So normal core, search out our emergency because we opened our Galaxy Soldier and we have our core dupe extender, which is Dream Hand in Cyber Dragons. Emergency, searching out our Cyber Dragon Hertz. Machine duplication on our core. Special summoning 2 Cyber Dragons. Try not to get too far ahead of yourself when doing some of these combos because on some of them placement matters, order matters, things like that. Overlaying into our River Stormer. Then detaching 1 material to add to our hand our Infinitrack Anchor Drill. I hope you guys have this because it was basically bought out and the price skyrocketed. Now going into our link 2 being our Platinum Gadget. Discarding our Cyber Dragon Hertz to summon our Galaxy Soldier, Chain Link 1 and 2. As we said already, adding from the graveyard to keep machine dupes alive because nobody wants to play a 100% guaranteed brick in their deck. Then we discard the Cyber Dragon we just added to summon our other Galaxy Soldier, overlaying for our Cyber Dragon Nova, detaching 1, and you have to summon a level 5 Cyber Dragon here. That part is not optional. Overlay into your Infinity, Platinum Gadget effect to special summon our Anchor Drill. Anchor Drill effect targeting Cyber Dragon, making them both become a level 9. And then we go into 2 level 9s into our True King of all calamities. If you're worried about it, you can always just absorb your Platinum Gadget with your Infinity, and there you have the VFD play. So now we're on to the first of 3 variants. We are going to show the CydrABC play, Cyber Scrap, and the Cyber Scrap Orcust play, at least one of the versions. So here, core dupe extender for Cyber Dragon ABC. Like I said, the deck is not dead. Normaling our core, we have Hertz, so we want to get to our Galaxy Soldier, which means we need Repair Plant. And it's got to be in there somewhere. So grabbing our Repair Plant. Machine dupe on our Cyber Dragon core. Special summoning 2 OG Cyber Dragons from our deck. Much like the VFD play, we overlay 2 of them now into Infinitrack River Stormer. River Stormer now detaching 1 to add our Scrap Recycler to our hand because all 3 of these we are using the Scrap Combo because the Scrap Combo pluses so hard and it's just honestly too good not to use. Here, make sure you go into your Platinum Gadget before using your Repair Plant if that's the extender you opened, and we do that here because now Cyber Repair Plant, you have 3 Cyber Dragons in the graveyard. We're going to activate both effects. They are in sequence, so you can't shuffle one back and add that same one right away. You would have to add first, grabbing our Galaxy Soldier, and then shuffling back one of our OG Cyber Dragons. Galaxy Soldier then discarding Hertz to special summon himself. Hertz grabbing the remaining one from the graveyard, because now we have 2 back in deck, meaning our next machine dupe is 100% live because there's 2 Cyber Dragons for it to special summon. Galaxy Soldier discarding Cyber Dragon to special summon himself in defense. We are going to overlay way over here because Master Rule 5, and we want him out of the way as much as possible just to make it a little easier. Nova, detach to special summon any Cyber Dragon, does not matter. And then going into our Cyber Dragon Infinity. One huge thing I do want to point out right now, it might sound unneeded or like it's not true whatsoever, but how I mentioned making him way over here on the side so that way we have the room to play, a lot of people, pretty much I do it too, I almost always do it this way, him over here, and do my combos on this side. They practice one way, so it's not a bad idea to practice like having your gadget over here and your infinity that way. Practice on both sides of the field, so if they take up an extra monster zone, you don't accidentally misplace or misclick your, well, misclick in real life, you don't misplace your cards, because link arrows aren't as important, but they still kind of matter for some strategies. And on that same note, think about it like if you learn to play on your right, I believe there's a thing about it I read where most people play it on the left side usually. So if you get good on the right, you might just throw them off and they might misplace a card, and it can throw off an entire strategy. Stuff that's just that little of stuff is really what separates levels of players from each other. Not trying to say I'm near the top, because I absolutely do not think that, but it's little things that you learn along the way. Platinum Gadget now special summoning our Scrap Recycler, who can send a machine to the graveyard. So we are going to send our first piece to the grave. It doesn't matter which one you send. Recycler and whatever Cyber Dragon you've revived into our Scrap Wyvern. Wyvern then special summons our Recycler. And then you pop your Recycler. If say you popped your gadget here, Recycler would not get his effect because he's a when effect, not an if effect. And that's why we do it this way, because now a scrap monster was destroyed, so Scrap Wyvern activates, special summoning a scrap monster from the deck, and then popping a card you control. Platinum Gadget was now destroyed by a card effect, so you can special summon a level 4 or lower gadget monster from your deck. We have Silver Gadget here for that one. Now Scrap Golem can special summon our Recycler, and now when it is summoned, you can dump a piece to the grave. Just trying to make sure I do this all in the right and proper orders. Let's go to the grave. Because we cannot use a link monster for going into our IP Mask Arena. And then 2 monsters with the same attribute or type, these two both being Earths, into our Union Carrier. Union Carrier's effect then to equip a monster, same type or attribute again. So we have 2 different light machines. You can pick either one that you want to equip it to. We're going to equip the final piece, to one of our machines, and now you can banish from the grave and or field to special summon our ABC Buster Dragon. Rip down to 1. I do understand it. I don't necessarily agree with it, but anyway, you would have 2 cards left in hand here still, and on your opponent's turn, you can IP Mask Arena and Union Carrier into our Avermax, and I'll show you right here why that is very, very important. So you do that into your Avermax, and now they can only attack your Avermax. After you discard a card, banish a card, you have your negate here. You can tag out your Buster, special summoning our 3 pieces. So now on your next turn, here we could just go into our Rampage, or just normal summon any monster, the monster you normal summoned, or in this case Rampage, plus your 3 pieces to the graveyard into Borrelsword Dragon, and Borrelsword, Avermax, and Infinity is well more than enough to OTK your opponent. And then there were two. We're on to Cyber Scrap Orcust. I think the Scrap engine is the best way to play Cyber Orcust. It's better than having like your returns and allures and all these draw cards and hoping you have your darks or your Orcus and just kind of hoping, because this is just so consistent and the regular Cyber Dragon hands and plays do the combo anyway. We opened Galaxy Soldier, so we want to get to our Hertz. We're going to speed this along. You're going to add your emergency to your hand, and then you're going to play your emergency to get your Cyber Dragon Hertz. So if you saw what we did there, we just skipped a step basically. We added emergency then for Hertz. Machine duplication to special summon 2 Cyber Dragons. Overlaying our 2 Cyber Dragons, again being a little repetitive here for our River Stormer. The only difference between these big boards is what you're searching, what you're summoning, what you're dumping. River Stormer detaching 1 to add our Scrap Recycler to our hand. And he is right here. So getting our Scrap Recycler in our hand, Machine Dupe can go to the grave now. Link 2. Let's go ahead and do this on the opposite side just to practice doing it on the different side. Like we talked about. Discard Light Machine 2, Special Summon Galaxy Soldier, Chain Links 1 and 2. Attempting to keep our Machine Dupes alive, so we grab Cyber Dragon from the graveyard because running less bricks is more important than the small deck thinning. Galaxy Soldier. Now discard Light Monster to Special Summon Galaxy Soldier. Overlaying for our Nova. Detach to summon any Cyber Dragon, does not matter, it is Link fodder. XZ's our Cyber Dragon Infinity. Platinum Gadget can now special summon our Scrap Recycler, who now can go ahead and dump our World Legacy World Wand to the graveyard. Core and Recycler into our Scrap Wyvern. Scrap Wyvern's effect to special summon our Recycler. And then pop a card, being a Recycler. A Scrap monster you control was destroyed by a card effect, so you can special summon a Scrap monster from your deck. We are going to go with Golem. And then pop a card on the field. We are going to pop Platinum Gadget. Platinum Gadget was now destroyed by a card effect, so we're going to special summon a level 4 Gadget monster from our deck, Gold Gadget. Scrap Golem can special summon a Scrap monster from the graveyard. Recycler. Recycler now is going to send another card to the graveyard. Let's send our Orcust Nightmare. So here, we're going to go and Scrap Recycler and Scrap. Does it really matter? Make sure it doesn't first. Trying to just think ahead here for you guys. And our Scrap Wyvern to the grave. Into our... Oh, we're not going to go with our Scrap Wyvern here because I will show you why in a second. Special summon Scrap Wyvern back. Okay. Let's just get rid of our Scrap Recycler, Scrap Golem into our Lib because we want her in a main monster zone. When she's summoned, you can only link summon her if you have a World Legacy card in your graveyard. We dumped World Legacy World Wand prior, and now we can set a World Legacy spell or trap. We're going to go with World Legacy Sorrow. Counter trap if you control a co-linked monster. It's, well, negate and destroy. So now we're going to go Orcust play. Banish our Orcust Nightmare to send to the graveyard our Symbol Skeleton. Banishing our World Wand to summon our Orcust Nightmare. Wyvern and our Nightmare to the grave. 2 special summon our Galatea. Now we can overlay our Dingirsu effect to attach from our banish zone. And then we're going to just link off our Dingirsu and our gadget into our IP Masquerena. Now we're going to banish our Symbol Skeleton to special summon our Galatea. Galatea now effect, returning our Symbol Skeleton to the deck. Here we're just going to choose the other trap because negates on negates on negates. Orchestrated Crescendo. You could also go for Babel and that play if you would want. Now on your opponent's turn you have negate and destroy an infinity, negate and banish, counter trap and crescendo. We are co-linked, so another negate and destroy counter trap. And you can also go IP Masquerena and Lib into Avermax, so we are still co-linked. Lib can then spin a card on their field back into the deck. So we have 3 negates, a spin, and they have to go through Avermax that was used in IP to do anything. You can also go for Appaloosa here instead and end with like Appaloosa for 3 with Infinity and the Orcust play. Not 100% sure how that works in there with Lib. I know you can go for the World Legacy Secession and probably get like Appaloosa for 4 full Orcust combo and Infinity, but this is the route I like to go with, so keep in mind I do have a different combo for this that I will show you once I get the last few cards in real life and not have to show you guys over a computer screen. The end is here, the end is near. The final combo this video is drug on. I think we're pushing like an hour now. Hopefully this all goes on to YouTube and I don't have to do 2 separate videos because I really don't feel like doing that. But I will if I have to. Obviously you guys know by now if I did or did not. Normal summon core, searching out our cyber emergency. Machine dupe on our core. This is just cyber scraps. Big wombo bombo combo. Make a bunch of stuff so that your opponent cannot play the game. But needle fiber glow up bulbs banned, so the deck died, right? And not exactly, but you'll see that here shortly. I did have a separate version that went with Appaloosa for 3, Savage, and Infinity, or the Nightmare Griffin lock with Savage and Infinity instead without glow up bulb. But shout out to Wesley because he pointed me in the direction of a card that makes this all still possible. Detaching to add our Scrap Recycler to our hand. Activate our Cyber Emergency. Add Hertz to our hand. Going into our Platinum Gadget once again. You see how these combos are also similar. Discarding Hertz to special summon Soldier. Chain links 1 and 2, getting our Cyber Dragon from grave and our Galaxy Soldier from our deck. Discarding our Light Monster to special summon our Galaxy Soldier. Now overlaying for our Nova. Try not to talk too fast so that the words actually match what I am doing on the cards. Detaching 1 to special summon any Cyber Dragon once again. Overlay for our Infinity. So for this, keep in mind, just because we need a send card, we have 2 extra cards in hand. I'm just going to throw 2 evenly matched in our hand to represent those 2 extra cards that you would have. Platinum Gadget, special summoning our Scrap Recycler. So again, if you missed that part, these 2 are just the 2 extra cards. They are not added for any particular reason other than that. Recycler is summoned, so now we're going to send Jet Synchron to the grave. Recycler and Hertz to the grave for Scrap Wyvern, who then special summons Scrap Recycler, and then we choose to pop Recycler so that we can trigger Wyvern's other effect and special summon our Scrap Golem. Scrap Golem, oh sorry, we have to then pop a card, which we pop our Platinum Gadget. And then we summon our Ancient Gear Gadget because, well, his effect, if it's normal or special summon, declare one card, monster, spell, or trap. If a monster you control attacks, your opponent cannot activate whatever you chose, spell, monster, trap, until the end of the damage step. Otherwise, you could go with yellow, green, red gadget because they are Earth level 4s. That's all that it really comes down to. Now let's go ahead and send one card from our grave to special summon our Jet Synchron. Link 2, Jet Synchron, and Scrap Wyvern into our Crystron Halcofibrax, who then special summons from our deck the Spice card, level 1 Earth Tuner, being Recover. So this card replaces Glow Up Ball because it's a level 1 Earth Tuner that can special summon it from the graveyard. Sound familiar? If your opponent has 5 more cards in their extra deck than you do, pay 2,000 life points, special summon it, but banish it when it leaves the field. See, at this point in the combo, we already have 9. They probably have 15, so you're golden. Plus, we're going to do other stuff before you would even get to have to resummon it again anyway. Gadget and Recover to the graveyard to special summon our Nat Beast. We did not use Golem's effect yet, so Golem can special summon our Recycler, who then dumps our, not sure why I went to hand, but we send our Orcust Nightmare to the graveyard, and now 2, 3, and 4 into our Appaloosa. We use 3 monsters, so she has 3 negates, 1, 2, and 3. So we have 7 monsters, meaning as long as they have 12 or more monsters in their extra deck, you can pay 2,000 life points, special summon your Recover. We're going to banish our Orchestrated Nightmare to dump to the graveyard our World Wand, banishing our World Wand to summon our Orchestrated Nightmare. Now level 1, level 7 into our next Synchro, being a Synchro 8, who then equips, just choose Wyvern because it has the most attack, Scrap Wyvern, and that's how you end with your Nat Beast, Borreload Savage, Cyber Dragon Infinity, and Appaloosa for 3 in Cyber Scraps. For those who watched, I just want to say thank you. I really mean it. I know it was a long time and this is a lot to take in, and I do not expect you to remember it all. I hope you learned a lot. I love hearing, I've had people come up to me on Facebook, message me and thank me, saying my videos help them grow as just a player, learn more, things like that. Even with other decks, just strategies, and like I said, watching other decks film, stuff like that. And they've won locals. They started doing better at locals, and I've actually had a couple guys thank me because they said my videos helped them get their invite at regionals, and a couple actually ended up getting top 8s. So that's just really, really awesome to hear. I appreciate it so much. I like doing this, but without you guys, there would be no point for me doing it, so I could not do it without you. We gotta all just keep it up, and let's make sure that everybody knows exactly how good Cyber Dragons can be. Take care, and I cannot wait until next time.